I know, but I'm gonna count us down in three, two, one. Let's hit start. Okay, let's just sit, close our eyes, take a couple deep breaths. I think we're gonna go for five today versus the three because everything hurts, but that's that. So as we breathe in through our noses, sit a little bit taller, relax your whole body. Doesn't matter which posture you're in. And then long exhale, sinking down into your mat. Okay, number two, let's breathe into the nose. Really fill your lungs. And then slowly, gently exhale. Feel the air as it exits your lips. Number three, let's breathe into the nose. Feel that chest expand. And then breathing out gently yet again. Feel the air as it exits your lips. Two more. Let's breathe into the nose. Long breath out. All right, last deep breath. Really make it count. Breathing in. And then long release. All right. I think we've done this enough times. Don't need a lot of instructions. Just sit here, continue to breathe at a normal cadence. Do your own body scan, see how you feel. And whenever you find yourself thinking about something, just come back to your breath. All right, let's take one more deep breath together and hold it at the top. So breathing into the nose, hold it, and then I'll play the singing bowl. And we'll release. So continue to hold for three, two, one. Let's gently exhale, open up our eyes. Gonna hop off the block. Ugh. And let's twist to the left. So right hand is on the left knee. Okay, plant your left palm or left fingertips on the floor at the base of your spine. Maybe look out your window at the leaves rustling because the storm is rolling in. And every time you exhale, turn your head and chin towards your left shoulder, twisting a little bit more. Oof. And then as you breathe out, gently come back to the front. Oh, let's twist clockwise. Okay, pressing the right hand or fingertips into the ground as we hear our neighbor's alarm that's been going off since 3:30 this morning, intermittently. Okay, we're still twisting and breathing rhythmically to that car alarm. Ooh. All right, let's just come back to center and we're going to hit our side. So sitting up a little bit taller, raising both arms up to the ceiling. Okay, reach like you're trying to touch the ceiling. Ooh. But then planting that left palm on the floor and then right arm is over our bodies. Oof. And that right sit bone is still planted. And using that left arm, kind of like a hinge to reach towards the upper left-hand corner of the room. Okay, let's lift that left hand back up to the top, reaching for the ceiling, then planting the right palm on the floor. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, feel the stretch go all the way down your left arm, all the way down your left side to your hip. Oh. All right, let's lift the right hand off the mat. Then bringing the hands back to center. Exhaling gently. All right, let's get our inner thighs. Ugh. Let's do some cobbler action. We'll do some knee drops and then stretch our quads. So, soles of the feet together in front of you. Pull those heels in as far as you can. Okay. And then gently pull your torso towards your toes, letting the knees drop. And do a few breaths at your own pace, whatever feels comfortable. Every time you breathe out, lean forward, keeping that back straight. Ooh. All right, we're gonna do one more deep breath together before we round out our backs and really reach as far as we can. So breathe in through the nose and then round out your back and reach your arms in front of you. I'm gonna crawl my fingertips in front of me as far as I can. Ooh. And really relax your legs. Let that stretch in your inner thighs really take over. We're still reaching. We're just letting the weight of your torso come down to the ground. Do all that stretching. All right, and then you can sit back up. Ugh. And just plant your feet in front of you, a little wider than shoulder distance. Just drop. You can even lean back and drop your legs side to side. Ugh. And like I said, today is going to be mostly stretching. So feel free to hold it as long as feels good. I'm going to do 5 cycles. So again, a lot of stretching. Ugh. I'll call it out just so you can have a cadence, but again, feel free to go at your own pace. on the right. Oh, and then over to the left. Ooh, oh, back to the right for three. Ooh, I didn't feel my glutes rotating against the floor. That's a lot. Over to the left. And number four, right. Uh, and knees over to the left. Uh, and last time here. Ugh, over to the right. And on this one, really lean back. You should feel an additional stretch. I always do anyways. Kind of my left quad. Ugh. I'm gonna sit back up gently before I rotate my knees to the left. And then leaning back for this side. Oh. All right. Oh, yeah, they sitting back up. Okay. Now let's sit lengthwise with our mat. We're going to do a glute stretch early. So keeping the left foot planted, I'm going to bring the right ankle onto the left quad or left knee. And using our hands on the ground behind us, leaning forward. We're trying to bring our torso towards the right shin. And you should feel that stretch in your right glute. Ooh. Oh. Okay, let's bring that right leg out, planting the right foot on the mat, bringing our left ankle onto the right knee or right quad. Now we're leaning forward again. We will definitely revisit the glutes later today. All right, let's bring that left leg out. Oh, let's stand up and do a hamstring stretch. All right, so legs nice and wide, wider than your hands. If you were to stick out your hands, bring your arms up to the ceiling, take a deep breath in through the nose, and then swan dive forward. Okay. And using your fingertips or hands on the floor, gently bend the elbows and push your torso towards the back of the room. And every time you breathe out, let the weight of your torso take over, do the stretch. So we're still breathing, stretching out the hamstrings. Ugh. 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 All right. So hopefully the hamstrings are beginning to open. Ugh. Let's plant that right palm on the floor. Okay. Press the right palm on the floor. We rotate your left arm up to the ceiling, opening up the chest on the right side. And the hamstrings are still stretching. Ugh, I kind of feel a stretch in my right forearm as well, since my right palm is planted on the ground. And then breathe in through the nose. And then as you breathe out through the mouth, bring the left arm back down to the ground, plant the left palm, rotate the right arm up. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, let's bring that right arm back down to the ground. Enjoying the hamstring stretch once again. Feet are gripping, hamstrings are stretching. Oof. All right, from here, we're gonna rotate 90 degrees to the left. Okay, bring the right heel off the mat. In a lunge, supporting yourself with your fingertips or hands for just a moment here. Then drop the right knee down to the mat. Untuck the right foot. You bring your torso up. And then rotate your hips forward. Feel the stretch in your right one. Ooh. And add the right arm as needed. Ooh. All right, let's hold it. I know we've been holding this for a while, but let's hold it for another 10 seconds. That's how much I need this. I'm gonna count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring your right arm down. Let's bring your torso forward. Oh, lift the right knee off the mat. Back in a low lunge on the left. And then slowly rotate, pivot back to the long side of your mat. Legs are straight. Back to where we started. And then we're going to rotate back. Or I'm sorry, to the right, not back. Rotate 90 degrees to the right. Drop the left knee down. Oh. Okay, torso's back up. Let's stretch out that left hip. Okay, it doesn't require a lot of movement of the hip, but it is a lot of stretching. Mm. Ugh. Okay. And I didn't count for this side, but I think that's long enough. Let's bring the arms and torso forward. Get back on the left toes. And then rotate back. Now we're rotating back to the starting position. Every time you breathe out, let your torso sink back down to the mat. Like I said, a lot of stretching today. Ooh, okay. And we're going to do a 10 count to bring our torso back up to the top. So really plant those legs into the ground. Let the upper body and arms dangle. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's bring the legs together. Let's relax the lower half of our body. Let's do a shoulder, arm, and neck stretch. My left arm is across the top of my chest, then pulling on that left arm, feeling the stretch go all the way through my shoulder. I'm going to hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Releasing that arm. And my right arm is across the top. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, pulling on that right shoulder. And I'll count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's get the left tricep. So left arm goes behind the head. Oh my goodness. Okay, get your head out of the way. Pull on that left elbow. And then lean towards the right for that bonus side stretch. So we're hitting the left tricep and the left side. Ugh. Right, gently straightening up the body and releasing that left elbow. Switching sides here, grabbing the right elbow, and then leaning over to the left. Boom. All right. Straightening up our bodies, releasing that right arm. Let's hit the neck. Ugh. So grabbing our left wrist behind our back. Okay, or I guess right, doesn't matter. We're gonna hit both sides. Leaning over to the chicken wing side, regardless of which wrist you're grabbing. And connecting the breath with the movement. So every time you exhale, reach that ear towards that shoulder. Ugh. Dropping the head back as we look up. Okay, let's rotate the head forward as we look down. All right, bring the head back to where we started. Switching sides, so grabbing the other wrist. Now I'm on my left side, but again, doesn't matter as we hit both. Dropping the head over, or dropping, trying to touch my left ear to my left shoulder. And tilting my head back as I look up. Ooh, tilting my head forward. Oh, and again, if you find any tight spots, you can just stay there. All right, straightening up our head, releasing that wrist. Let's do another neck stretch. So plug our fingertips into the ground, arms are long, drop your chin to the top of the chest, and then drop your head over to the right. Ooh. And then rolling the chin across the top of your chest to the left. Hopefully you feel that in the back of your neck. Okay, roll your head slowly over to the right. Okay, to the left. Let's do 3 times for each side. And one more time to the right here. Uh, okay. Last time over to the left. Uh, okay. Bring the head to the center. Bring your head back up. And let's rotate over or to the lower half of our body. Let's back on the hamstrings. We have a classic coming. All right, split leg hamstring stretch. The left leg is in front. Left leg is straight. Heels are in line. Try to touch your ceiling with your fingertips. We're moving slowly today. Still moving slowly anyway. I want to swan dive over. Oh my goodness. Over the straight left leg. Okay, square up your hips. Drive the right hip towards the left ankle. Heck, try to touch your knee to your nose to your knee. However you want to think about it. Yeah. Whew. All right, let's bend the left knee and come on up. Oh my goodness. And switch legs. Okay, right leg is out in front, right toes face forward, heels are in line, arms reach up. Take a deep breath in and swan dive over the straight right leg. Okay, driving the right hip or left hip forward. The stretch feels so good, I don't even know my lefts from my rights anymore. Oh, come on. Ugh. All right, let's bend the right knee and bring our torsos up. Oh. All right, let's do a calf stretch now. Okay, I don't think we've ever done this. It's like we're about to go into, I don't know, a lunge, but both feet are planted, heels are planted, and then bend the left knee forward. You put your hands on your hips. That right leg is straight. Okay, really keep the right heel planted on the mat. You should feel the stretch in your right calf. Ooh. right, let's straighten up that left leg, switch legs or whichever leg is in front. So my right leg's in front, both feet are planted on the mat, and then I exhale as I lean forward and bend my right knee, stretching out my left calf. Ooh. All right, and then straightening up that right leg, you can bring your feet together. Oh, let's do a child's pose. We're on the ground. Oh my goodness. So start by sitting on the heels, knees are as wide as your mat. I can already feel my quad stretching out here. Let's reach the arms up to the ceiling, breathing in, and then exhale, bring the arms forward, down onto the mat. Relaxing our breath. We're going to add another side stretch here. So let's start with the left. So bring your left arm out to the left back foot or so. And let's stack our right hand over the left, feeling the stretch go from your hip through your side, your right fingertips. Ugh. And it comes back to center. Ugh. All right, right arm goes out to the right, and let's stack our left hand over the right, stretching out our left side. Ooh. All right, come back to center. We're gonna do a thread the needle, so bring your hips up into the air. Oh, oh. Okay, we're gonna do 3 times each side. So I'm gonna start with my left, so threading my left arm through, resting my left shoulder on the mat for a moment, and then rotating the left arm up to the ceiling for one, bringing your left arm through, okay, back up at the top for two, and I'm threading it through for a third time on this side. Right, and then up top, last time on the left. And then as you bring your left arm down, bring it forward onto the mat and thread your right arm through. And bring that right arm up to the ceiling. Ooh. Bringing it on through, right shoulders on the mat. Number two, bring it on up. Ooh. And the second time, or I'm sorry, third time, right shoulders on the ground. Okay, last time up. Lifting that right arm forward. Elevated child's pose, hips are up in the air. All right, let's do camel. So, I'm gonna roll up my mat because I'm gonna be on my knees. Okay. So your torso's up to start. Put your hands on your hips and or your lower back. Yeah, you can choose how deep you would want to go in camel, but we're stretching the front of our bodies. Okay, just leaning back if that's enough of a stretch for you. Perfectly good. You can also, one at a time, bring your hands down to your ankles. Yeah, I feel that stretch from my quads through my core. You can even drop your head back. Okay, if you're leaning back one at a time, bring your arms back to your hand back to your lower back. Come out of it. And let's do a cat cow. Okay, since our mats are already rolled up, find yourself on all fours. 5 breath cycles. So breathe in, bring your head and bottom up. Chest is down. Ugh. And then exhale, round out that back. Oh my goodness. Inhale, head up. Ugh. Exhale, head down. Inhale, head back up. Exhale, head down. Inhale, up. Connecting the groin with the movement. Uh, and then exhale, round out that back. Uh, okay, inhale, head up. Exhale, head down. Oh my goodness. Okay, I don't know how many we've done, but let's do one more. Inhale, head up. Exhale, head down. And come to a neutral spine. We're going to stay on all fours. We're going to go a little bit deeper into this back stretch. So you can either rotate your spine to each side. Okay. Kind of a side stretch there. Or, I know this sounds silly, but think of a jump rope. You're going to want to rotate your spine in that same motion. It might feel silly, but it actually feels great. I'm going both directions. I'm rotating, I guess, count my spine counterclockwise. Let's go 3 times and then go the other direction. Ooh. One more time. Ugh. All right, returning to neutral spine. Get off my mat, unravel it. Ugh. Now we're going to do table. So feet are planted in front about shoulder distance. Palms are planted behind. All right. And then prop yourself up. Okay, bring the hips up to the ceiling. Oh. Oh. All right, let's gently lower ourselves back down to the mat and lie down on our backs. We're going to bridge next, so you can keep your feet planted. Knees are about hip distance apart. Before we do, just enjoy lying down on our backs. All right. Roll onto the shoulders. Okay, bring your hips back up into the air. I'm going to go for the support arm hand version where my hands stay on my lower back. My elbows are on the floor. And then control the descent one vertebra at a time. Back down to the ground. Okay, it's all about control, not about speed. Until we're all the way down. All right, we're gonna revisit the glutes. So left foot remains planted. Right foot is, or right ankle's resting on that left quad. Let's pull the left shin in. Okay, hopefully your right glute feels a little bit more open than when we started. We're going to do 3 super long breaths. Every time you exhale, breathe into that right glute. So breathing into the nose. And then exhale gently. Number 2, breathing in. Long breath out. Okay, last time for this side, breathe into the nose. And then relaxing the breath. All right, let go of that left shin, plant the right foot down on the mat, get the left leg into position. And let's grab that right shin. All right, same thing. 3 extended breaths. Breathe into the nose. And then release. Number 2, breathing in. Long breath out. All right, last time here. Breathe into the nose. And then exhale softly. All right, let go of that leg. Let's do happy baby, and then we'll do a supine twist. So we're on our backs, legs come up in the air. Grab the outside parts of our feet. Pull the knees in towards the underarms. Feel those inner thighs. And every time you relax your breath, pull a little bit more on those feet. We haven't even begun rocking side to side yet. We're just enjoying that stretch. And then you can rock side to side. Okay, massaging the spine against your mat. Okay. You can release the legs back down to the mat. Relax your breath. Okay. All right, let's start with the right leg. So pulling in the right knee in towards your chest. And then using your right hand, pull the right knee out to the right. Notice how that stretch changes where your leg meets your body. Ooh. All right, let's pull the right leg over to the left side. Left arm is resting on that right knee. Right arm is extended out to the right. And we're really turning your spine. We already all know what to do here, but relaxing the breath, long exhales. Oh, okay, we're still going. Hopefully those right knuckles and or that right knee is making contact with the ground. That's how far I want you to twist. If not, also good. Remember, this practice is all about doing what feels good with stretching, feels right for your own body. All right, let's return that right leg back to center. Oh, pulling in, lots of groaning today. Pull in that left knee with both hands. All right, let's pull the left knee out to the left side. Uh, Maybe I should have done this yesterday in addition to today. All right, let's pull the left knee over to the right. Left arm extends out to the left. Ugh. Oh my goodness. Okay, we are still twisting. We are enjoying that stretch. Uh, oh, excuse me. Oh, all right, bring that left leg back to center. Ugh. Reach the arms up top. Okay. Arms and wrists are on the floor. We're gonna stretch out, I don't know, our shoulders. What we're gonna do is we're gonna scrape our fingertips and our elbows against the ground, bringing the elbows towards the hips. Oh. And then keeping the arms on the ground, gently sliding them back up to the top like we're reaching above. Okay, two more times. Forearms and elbows, just sliding across the ground. Oh, feeling it in our shoulder blades, whatever. Okay, back up to the top. We're gonna do one more time. Okay, it is a gentle, soft motion. Uh, ooh. All right, back up to the top. Ugh. All right. Oof. We're gonna do pigeon and then we're gonna do a closing sequence. So sit up. Ugh. Taking our times getting there. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. Palms are planted. Left leg is back. I'm gonna start with my right leg forward. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, finding the position that stretches out that right leg. Well, I'm going to add a left glute stretch here too, but start with enjoying this stretch in your right leg. If I had to describe it, it goes from my glute through my hamstring to my knee. Oh, ugh. Mm, mm. All right. Ugh. Plant both palms in front. Push your torso up. Oh, you know what? Keeping that right, or keeping the palms planted. Bring your core towards your front. Lean your head back. Stretch the front of your body. Think of your body like a bow from your left toes to your head. Ugh. All right. And then right palm is planted. Reach your left hand back. Pull your left heel in towards your body. Feel the feel the left quad. Stretch feels so good. I don't even know what to say anymore. All right. Release that left leg. Both palms are planted. Right leg comes back. Left leg comes forward on top of the right toes. Ugh. Oh, let's plant the palms in front, bring your torso up, doing that forward bend or back bend for the front of your body. I'm still feeling a stretch in my left leg. It feels incredible. Oh, okay. Last stretch of the day before we do our closing sequence. So left palm is planted in front, right hand pulls in the right foot, and we are stretching out that right quad. All right, let's release that right foot. Let's sit back on our heels. Okay, we're still sitting up. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And as we exhale, come forward in child's pose. Hmm. Thanking our bodies for everything it's done, everything we ask it to do, and everything it's going to do. All right. Our favorite part, everyone. Come forward out of child's pose and rotate onto your back. Ugh. 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 The moment we've all been waiting for. Corpse pose. Relax the legs down. Arms at your sides. Close your eyes if that's comfortable. Scan your whole body. And I won't say anything for 60 seconds. All right, that was about a minute. Gently bring your arms up to the top. Ooh, morning stretch. Whatever you do to get out of bed every morning, or before you get out of bed every morning, arching the back, groaning, reaching the arms, it doesn't matter. All right, and from here, roll onto your side. Ugh. Rest your head and face on your hands. Whichever arm is on top, plant that palm on the floor and push yourself back up. Ugh. Back to our starting position. Ugh. 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 All right. Sitting up nice and tall, lengthening the spine, plug the crown of your head into your ceiling or up toward your ceiling. And breathe in through the nose and breathe out with some sound. All right. Next breath, breathing in through the nose and breathe out with some sound. All right, last one, breathing into the nose and breathe out with some sound. Let's bring our hands to heart center, and you may repeat after me if you wish. May you have clear and kind intentions. Let's raise our hands to our foreheads. May you have clear and kind thoughts. And then bringing our hands to our lips. May you have clear and kind communications. And then returning our hands to our hearts. And as always, the light in me celebrates and honors the light in you. Namaste, my friend.
Okay. Well, happy Monday.
Happy Monday indeed.
Thanks for
Enjoy the rain.
yes.
I think
While
it's
not on a bike. So yay.
correct. Thank God.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, all right.
All
Have a
right.
good week.
Thank you, you too.
All right.
See ya. All right. Bye.